That cold night, as the clock hands slowly crept towards midnight, I felt a strange urge to explore the basement of my grandfather's old house. That basement where I had always heard faint whispers and strange tales from my family, especially about a mysterious mirror my grandfather sometimes spoke of in a puzzling tone. Are you ready for a journey into the world of oddities? Could something beyond imagination be hidden in an abandoned place? Let's embark on this adventure together. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, share the story with your friends, and tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've ever found in an old place? I crept into the basement, holding a flashlight that barely illuminated the dense darkness. The air was heavy, saturated with the smell of dust and decaying wood, and every step I took produced a disturbing creak on the worn wooden floor. Shadows danced on the walls, forming strange shapes as if they were living beings watching me. After a few steps, my foot tripped over something solid. I raised the flashlight to see what it was, only to find a large wooden box, seemingly unopened for decades. The box was covered with a thick layer of dust and some dangling cobwebs. I felt a surge of adrenaline pump through my veins. What could this box contain? With great difficulty, I managed to open the box. It didn't contain gold or treasures as I had imagined, but inside was a mirror. An old mirror, its frame adorned with strange and worn engravings, and its glass appearing dull and hazy. At first glance, it seemed like an ordinary mirror, but something deep inside me screamed that it wasn't. There was a strange aura surrounding it, as if it radiated a mysterious coldness. I couldn't resist my curiosity. I lifted the mirror with trembling hands and pointed it towards myself. This is where something I could never have imagined happened, something that turned my world upside down. I looked into the mirror, but I didn't see my reflection. There was nothing. Not me, not the furniture behind me, nothing at all. The mirror was completely empty, as if it were a window to an infinite void. I felt an intense cold seep into my bones, and my heart pounded violently in my chest. Was I dreaming? Had I gone mad? I tried to wipe the mirror. Perhaps it was just very dirty. But even after I wiped it with a cloth I found there, it remained empty. I pointed the flashlight directly at it, but nothing. The mirror resembled a black hole that absorbed light and reflected nothing. I started to tremble. This was something the human mind couldn't comprehend. A mirror that doesn't reflect? Is that possible? I tried to find a logical explanation, but there was none. I tried to put the mirror away, but my hands were holding it tightly, as if an unseen force was preventing me from letting go. Suddenly, I began to hear faint whispers coming from the mirror itself. At first, they were just indistinct sounds, but they quickly began to clear, as if words were being spoken in an ancient language I had never heard before. I felt a strange pull towards it, as if it was inviting me into its mysterious world. I slowly extended my other hand towards the surface of the mirror. It wasn't cold glass as I expected, but the surface was strangely warm, as if a hidden energy glowed from within. When my hand touched the surface, I felt as if I was being pulled inside. It wasn't a physical pull, but a spiritual one, as if my being was disintegrating and reassembling itself in another place. The world without reflection. I opened my eyes to find myself in a strange, dark place. It wasn't the basement. The room I was in resembled the basement, but it was much darker and colder, completely devoid of any windows or doors, and without any trace of life. There was no light, except for a faint flicker coming from somewhere far away. I felt fear take over me, but curiosity was stronger. The atmosphere was eerily silent, and the silence pressed on my ears as if it were screaming. I was completely alone in this void. Suddenly, I caught sight of something in the corner of the room. It was another mirror, but it wasn't empty like the mirror that brought me here. It reflected my image. I looked at it with skepticism. Had I returned? But the place wasn't the basement. I approached the mirror. My reflection stared back at me. But it wasn't quite me. My reflection's eyes were dull, its hair disheveled, and its face pale. It looked like a shadow of me, a version of me, but soulless. When I moved, it moved with me. When I raised my hand, it raised its hand. But when I tried to smile, my reflection didn't smile. Its face remained pale and expressionless. A shiver ran down my spine. My reflection looked like me, but it wasn't me. I tried to speak to it, but only faint whispers escaped me. My reflection seemed to hear me, but it didn't respond. It was just a ghost of me, silently watching. I remembered the mirror that brought me here, the one that reflected nothing. Could it be that I had passed through it into another world, a world where I didn't exist? Had I become a ghost in my original world? I don't know how long I spent in that dark place, but it felt like an eternity. Despair began to creep into my heart. Would I be trapped here forever? Was this my fate? Suddenly, I felt a force pulling me again. It was the same force that had pulled me into this world. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them, I found myself lying on the cold basement floor, the old mirror beside me. The flashlight was still on, its faint light dancing on the walls. I felt as if I had woken up from a terrifying nightmare. I looked at the mirror. It was still empty, reflecting nothing. I slowly got up, my body still trembling. I no longer felt the curiosity that had driven me to this place. I felt fear and a desire to escape. But something was different. When I looked at my hand, I noticed something strange. My skin color was slightly pale, as if life had been drained from it. And when I looked at my reflection in a metallic surface nearby, I saw that my eyes were slightly dull and my hair disheveled. I resembled my reflection in the strange mirror, as if a part of me had remained in that other world. I took the mirror and put it back in the box, closing the box tightly. I no longer wanted to see it, nor did I want to know more about it. I left the basement, climbed the stairs, and stepped out into the sunlight. I told no one what happened that night. How could I explain what happened? Who would believe me? I still don't know what that mirror is, or what world it took me to. But I know one thing. That night in the basement changed me forever. I still see my reflection in mirrors, but I always wonder, is it my true reflection, or is it just a shadow? A shadow from that world where existence is not reflected. And here, my story with you ends, the story of the mirror that did not reflect me. But do you think this was just a dream? Or are there other worlds waiting for us beyond the glassy surface of mirrors? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel and follow more strange and exciting stories.